Goodness gracious. Happy Tuesday, y'all. I have got some cleaning up that I need to do of this channel. There are a couple of live streams that I need to remove where I had a few desperate guests on. And one of them is that guy, Ralph Bottles. Trust me, I was doing you a favor, allowing you to come on my platform. And if anything, uh, no male on this platform has ever made me relevant. If anything, it was actually the other way around. However, like a sick, demented person that all of y'all are in that sector, you took it and you just made complete fools of yourselves. Now, we're not going to even talk about the false outrage, the false glamour that you guys in sector try to create around me, trying to act like, oh, Jamila, trying to put like this energy of disgust around my name. That's just your jealousy. That's what jealous people do when they get together and they have a problem with somebody. Your mamas should have taught you self-esteem. Okay. So that live that I did when I allowed Ralph to come on my platform, I'm gonna take it down because I'm gonna be honest with you. I think all of y'all are batshit crazy and demented. Ralph actually set up there and it can so I want to let y'all know that I am not cool with Ralph Bottles. I'm not cool with any of that sector because it's just not my type of people that I would hang around or that I would choose to be around. It just isn't. I tend to like to spend all of my time, not a majority of my time, but I like to spend my time with people that actually have honor, integrity, and opulence. And that whole thing within that sector to where it seems like y'all are all fighting over something that doesn't exist because there's no reward. And then also y'all are all kind of sort of like how do I put this? Lost and turned out. Ralph, you could never use me to go at nobody. That's what y'all are not. This is where my mode of thinking is above all of you because I don't need to use any of you for anything. Everything that I need, I got within me. And if I don't have it within me, I have favor from various sources to make whatever I want to happen. Okay. Now, I wanted to point something out real quick. And this is where you're not dealing with Black people necessarily, because I don't give a damn if you get 1 million views per day on your channel. Black people that come out in social media and do stupid things for attention. You may get a YouTube paycheck because you're getting views, which sometimes the content does get you demonetized, but I'm not into that. I don't do that. I've never been into that. So, um, I heard Ralph say that, oh boy, which Ralph, I'm gonna get you because you're the only one screaming about me at this point. You're the only one in that sector that's talking about me. And then also Della is gonna have to get it. She's gonna be dealt with by my spirits because it's weird. Y'all are not allowed to just Jamila. We're not passing Jamila's name around anymore. Okay, that's over. That's done. That's done. Okay. But I heard you when you said that he's the reason why I get up here and I think that I'm something. Um, you are terribly demented. I guess you must be a part of that New York trash that we hear about. I was already relevant and had a viral channel before I ran into any of you people. Remember the Terry Cloth 97 channel that y'all flagged? Yeah, back before YouTube actually gave 3 strikes, you're out. Yeah, that channel was viral. Number one. Number two, I was already up here um camming up and everything. I was making pregnancy vlogs. People knew what I looked like. They knew what my children looked like. Where do you come up with that in your mind? Like, this is the reason why I always say that all of you black males in that sector, y'all are not enemies, y'all are buddies because y'all all work as a conglomerate together for some bullshit that makes no sense and is very dysfunctional. First of all, if I could go back in time and undo ever speaking to any of you demented people, I would do it, right? I would do it. I would make the assault. In fact, I would just destroy whatever seed that got planted that ever brought any of you people into my social media. Um, and let me just point this out. What kind of mind do you have to where you believe that somebody that disrespected a person so badly lied on me? And see, this is the reason why I truly believe that Ralph is a predator, is a pedophile, actually, because when Mike first started out, he was making up tall tales about crimes that I never committed. So Mike has never made me relevant. If anything, all of y'all have been like retarded, distant cousins that I don't want to claim. That's a fact. I don't like any of you people. And Ralph, please don't think that just because I allowed you up on my platform that I was giving you some kind of honor, right? Because you have none. You people think that betrayal is somehow honor, and that's why you don't have nothing, and that's why you'll never get anything. That's why you make fools of yourself every single day in social media. um for you to say that shows how demented you are, that Mike made me relevant while he's attempting to abuse me. I'm not going to accept abuse. But for you to equate abuse, the disgusting things that he said, not only do I believe that you dine on feces, apparently, but I also think that you are just a sick, demented, backwards, warped individual. Trust me, every single day that all of that was happening, I wished that it wasn't. Why would somebody want that? That's not the truth. And then also another thing, I think it's ridiculous that y'all are so, either you're misinformed or uninformed to actually know exactly what I was dealing with, especially while I was in Georgia. And I have spoken about it. Y'all are incapable of listening to the truth, which is why you'll never be depended upon. You'll never be given any power in the Black community or any kind of power. You'll never be given any honor to change things and bridge the gaps where they need to be bridged. Because I was actually just talking to my friend earlier about about how when I was in Georgia, it was like being in a concentration camp. The way women, not just black women, I've actually, there's tons and tons of videos of Caucasian women, white women, all different races of women, but black women in particular are heavily marginalized in the state of Georgia, and the misogyny and how it is a real problem, and how if something was not done about it, we would be in trouble, big trouble. For you to take that out of that situation when my child, literally my now 13-year-old, was being targeted by pedophiles and child predators for years, trying to utilize the Department of Family and Children's Services to possibly get a hold of my child. The fact that I performed a miracle to protect my child and will continue to do so. That's really interesting. That that and but I understand when you have a conversation with someone like Della, you have to speak in terms of lower vibrational frequencies, right? However, you're very lower vibrational, very low, because you couldn't handle her having something to say about you in opposition. I personally have never gave a damn. If y'all would have came online now, if it would have got out of hand and if it would have turned into a whole thing to where negative energy is being sent to me and my family, which is exactly what happened. But if you just didn't like me, I wouldn't give a shit. That is the reason why you had to take it further. You had to do smear campaigns. You had to do, you had to drive by my house. You had to dox people. You had to do all of those things because you already know that I wouldn't have gave a damn, because who are you? You are nobody to me, literally. It would be different if it was somebody important. And you can't say, oh well, we black and we deserve to be heard, but not when you're doing things like that. You don't. In fact, you need to be silenced, straight up and down. Then, I'm pretty sure that there's been a lot of black people in the black community that have just said, you know what? I'm not going to allow people like that to embarrass me. So have I. So have I. I think it's funny, Ralph, that you would completely bypass the fact that I've had revenge porn dropped on me well over 400 times or more, and you just simply don't give a damn. But yet you, for some reason, believe that your voice is important in our communities. Now, we were talking about earlier about Georgia, and how black women and women in general can't get justice in Georgia. I can imagine how many reports is on the books of rape, of all sorts of stuff that has happened to women in the state of Georgia that has never been prosecuted. It is literally like a third world country in Georgia. It just looks nice. It does. It looks nice. But when you really, really, really actually live in Georgia, and trust me, I lived there for 9 years, you really, really get to know what it can be about. And unfortunately, that was my reality in Georgia, because I knew you people, because I knew Mike, I knew Alexis, and all of you people in your group that heavily consists of misogynists, possibly even DL gay men, and a host of other people that have this hatred for women. Um, and so I don't think the way that y'all think. Yes, it is, Stefan. Yes, it is. Happy Tuesday. Yeah. And here's what I want to say. I think that what a lot of people, a lot of you in that black sector need to just to accept is that you need to stop trying to connect yourself with people socially that you're not equally yoked with. Because having any kind of social connection with any of you people, and everybody knows it, this is the reason why y'all are stuck within that just you guys, because nobody will have anything to do with you. Nobody worthwhile is going to have anything to do with you because they know that if they try to make some kind of social or business connection with you that's outside of prostitution and being a stalker, they know that you're going to try to get as much information about that person and try to throw them under the bus. So we know that y'all are very, very, very limited socially, right? So nobody wants anything to do with you socially because of that reason. This is a fact. I, for one, would like to undo knowing you people. And I think it's really weird. Uh, I would, again, Ralph, you are a supporter of that dude. So that would mean that number one, I'm not trolling. You like to dine on feces, number one. Okay. Anybody, whether or not you overtly or covertly support that guy, you like feces either as a meal of choice or worked into your sexual play. That's a fact. I am a woman, heterosexual, okay? And I am not a gay man that's into poop. So we all know that about y'all. Number one, I hate to bring that up, but it's the truth. Okay, because we all know where this came from. I was stalked and I was harassed for years by a lot of you DL gay men in that sector. Okay, it depends on what that question is. If I don't like the question, Jason Whit Richardson, then you're gonna get blocked immediately, and I'm not gonna acknowledge whatever you say. So make it good, hon. Nobody wants anything to do with you people. Nobody. 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 In fact, Ralph, you should know this, that the buck stopped here. The buck stopped here. The fact that Mike was given an opportunity to straighten up and fly right, and he could not do it. He was tested and he failed. There was never going to be any relationship between me and him, obviously. But when he came to me, he had the opportunity to clean it up, and he chose not to. I don't know how you're looking at the situation, but you're looking at the situation as a lie. My reading prices is on my link tree, divineservicesapothecary.com. You can go and check it out. Um, yeah, like I honestly, like, it's real demented. I don't think that way. No one, unless you come from a mother or somebody that enjoys abuse and degradation. And then I'm thinking maybe it's because y'all are into BDSM. That must be what it is. Because I didn't enjoy any of that. I didn't allow it to make me miserable. Hell no. No. But I can't imagine me in that situation under constant misery and just, oh my god, it's not for me. So for you to say that, and he's the reason why she's getting up here, I've been doing that. I've been on YouTube for almost 20 years. I've been on YouTube for almost 20 years. And then also, here's another thing, I have never wanted to be relevant in that black sector. Uh, Prior to y'all falsely flagging my channel, I had my own collective. I still do. I still make more money than y'all. Okay. Even though I get less views. Go figure. Um, I've never wanted to be a part of y'all sector ever, ever. This is a fact. I put it on my life. Never. I've never wanted to be accepted by you people. I don't need you. I don't need the black sector. That's why y'all came over here and flagged my channel. And then now that you flagged it and you get a lot of either false views or either views of people that are literally just looking to see people crash out or argue with something, or they're just looking for their death, or they're just looking for negativity, or other than that, your views don't count. You can't even monetize that crap. You don't even make any real money. Even though my company has went through changes, right? My company has went through reorganization. I still made more money than y'all, and that's why you men was so upset. Mike himself was upset that after I dealt with that landlord that marginalized black women and became homeless in Georgia for one day. I was homeless for one day, well, actually a few hours until I moved into an extended stay, right? He got upset because I was able to make money through my company to pay for my own way. And so then he began to go around and lie and claim that I was a prostitute. This is what you black men do, which, by the way, you won't get away with. You'll suffer for it. Keep in mind, I'm a witch and I always will be. I'll never feel bad for that. This is called justice. So, Della, quit bringing up my name. I think it's weird. You sound weird. Like, I don't have anything negative to say about you, but my spirits are going to handle you. No, I'm not. Jay Duncan, I am going to respond to this stupid shit because this is the IQ of a person of 10. You keep saying you aren't a part of this sector, but you keep talking about the sector. Let's address this stupid shit, Jay Duncan. Of course, I'm going to say what I need to say about your sector because you people lied on me. You drop revenge porn on me, and you're stalking me. Are you for real? Like this is the next level demented behavior of these people. It's still going on. As long as anybody in your sector is speaking about me publicly, I am going to have a response. You are not going to ever bully me and silence me. You're not going to do it. The hell are you talking about? Right. Thank you, Concrete Jungle. You can definitely talk about something and not be a part of it. Exactly. Exactly. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you. The most sensible thing that I've seen, because I see you in that sector quite often, but absolutely, I had all the reason. That would be just like going through over 60 to 70 CPS investigations born out of stemming from that sector and me not acknowledging it and saying it. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to come and let the community know what you people are doing. It's almost like they want to be abusers and they all have this fantasy about it, but they want it kept quiet. And I'm not the type of person that's going to keep quiet. In fact, you're coist. You're coist, right? Right? I didn't tell you that you had to be on my good side. I didn't tell you that. I said what? Shut the fuck up, is what I said. Shut up and stop lying on me and stop bringing me up. Stop saying that. That's what I said. I didn't say go and say good things about me. I don't need you people to say good things about me. I'd rather you not say anything at all. I've already destroyed your sector. Your sector's done. It's done. There's no money going in your sector, and there will be no money going out of that sector. That's a fact. It wasn't even me, it was God. Let's say God destroyed your sector. Your sector is no more because it shouldn't be, especially being that you came for me, and we're going to destroy that beef sector too. From what? We, because I'm with God, right? They're done too because they keep trying to merge with y'all. Y'all are a very negative collective that does not serve the proper people. Y'all serve corruption. Period. End of story. What are you going to do about it? Nothing. That's a fact. You're not going to do anything about it. Part of the reason why your sector is destroyed is because you keep bringing up my name. You keep going to that false storyline about me. If you would stick to y'all have given express consent to be a part of that sector. I have said for years, I don't want to be a part of that. Oh, well, what about Tiffany? What about this? What about that? What about that? What about that? What the hell is it? What are you doing? If y'all would just go and don't talk about each other while thinking about me, because y'all do that sometimes. Y'all mask y'all stalking of me by talking about other people. And spirit sees that too. Don't do that anymore either. Don't do that anymore either. In fact, before I go, okay, my suggestion is that you stop thinking about Jamila, Tyrese, Jacob, Deja, Danielle, Uncle Reggie. You stop thinking about us at all, you hear? Okay? That's just a suggestion. Nobody wants to be a part of a group of people that is spreading egregious lies about them. What in the hell? That's demented. That's retarded. A bunch of stress. Sure, I'm a healer. I literally, if I come on here and which I'm not stressed out right now, I'm just responding. But if it's if I'm dealing with the negativity and I needed some help or support, I've got plenty of passion flower and valerian root over here, and just surrounded by supportive herbs and stuff, you know what I'm saying, in jars. So I ain't got to worry about that. But it's just the point. I don't want to be associated with you people. See, again, Ralph, that was a undulating, like a little undertone of you trying to claim me for that sector. And for that, spirit will get you. Don't get mad at me for what spirit does to you. My listen, God wants me to have nothing to do with your sector. And that's who I obey the most high. I obey the most high. Okay? But listen, seriously. Because the most high for me as a witch represents my higher self that reflects back to me. I don't want anything to do with you people. In fact, I just was speaking about it last night, how honestly, and you're gonna stop perpetrating the fraud. You are going to. You will. You will. You will. You understand me? You will stop trying to associate me with that sector or my success. I built up these 25,000 subscribers, that of which y'all come by here every day, flagging, flagging, which your flagging is now deemed to be it doesn't matter if you flag, it doesn't matter. It just stop trying to I was relevant before that sector, and that's why that sector was harassing me. Why are you lying, Ralph? Goodness gracious. What woman, why would a business owner, as a business owner, why would I want some knucklehead coming to social media doing the stuff that he did? That's a lie. That's a whole lie. That's a whole lie. And with that said, that's pretty much it. We're gonna let spirit do what it do, because that's all spirit been doing. So I want people to know the truth about that. I don't think that shit is cute. I don't advocate for that. All that stuff they be talking, and the pimps up and hoes down and stuff. And see, and now you're dealing with the will of my father and my mother mainly. I would have never been around people like that. I would, it just wouldn't happen. This is why this is all stemming from me walking away from Tiffany. Tiffany was getting into a heavy sexual deviancy when I walked away from her. Heavy, heavy. That involved drugs and trafficking and prostitution. And I got away from her. And then that's why she sought y'all help. We all know it's the truth. And it doesn't matter what you want or what your little perverted ideas are. I will always keep and stay sacred. You cannot change that ever. Okay? You can't violate that. You tried. You tried. But you realized that it was a mistake. Okay? We all know who was putting the battery up y'all backs to continue with that crap. Even created a past drug history for me that never existed. We all know why people go and turn to prostitution, because they're on some kind of drug a lot of the times. See, I don't do drugs. You lied on me. You even got my mother involved with it somehow. But that's okay though. I've spoken about that. My mother is gone home to glory. Okay. That was years ago. We're not gonna go back too far in the past. Okay. My mother was sick and under possession. And I would never dishonor my mother, because that one little thing that she did, in comparison to everything else that my mother did for me my whole life, the lessons, the teachings, the blessings, the jewels, I would never give that up for that one little thing, that mistake that she made, which she tried to stop, and then y'all began to harass her. Right? Yeah. So you harass my mama, you gonna have some problems, and that's why y'all got problems. And y'all gonna continue to have problems. We know that it was stemming from me not wanting to be associated with bisexuality, lesbianism, threesomes, all of that street life that I have never lived. And you can't force me, and you'll fucking die trying. You can try it, but you'll die. I already told you that. Okay? All right. That's pretty much it. Ralph, please believe that last night we recognized that you the only one. Don't do it again. You the only one. You and Della. You will get fucking dealt with. I don't want nothing to do with y'all sector. Okay? And you'll FIFO. All right? Okay. All right. That's pretty much it. Other than that, to the rest of you guys, mwah, happy Tuesday. Sorry that I have to, there used to be a time when I could make just these wonderful spiritual videos, and we're getting back to that. We're getting back to that. But it's not just about doing the work. The work is done. These statements that I'm making have to be made. The truth has to be spoken. Don't ever do it again, Ralph. Do it again. Do it again. Okay. And if you're demented like that and you think like that, don't involve Jamila's name. Speak for yourself. All right, I gotta go, you guys. Bye.